Hello everyone, this is Pratishtha from Jago Investor, and today in this video we are going to discuss the new bank locker rules issued by the RBI. Most of the families in India have lockers in banks where we keep jewelry and important documents, etc. It's very important to know your rights as a bank locker customer. So let's get started. RBI has recently issued some new guidelines for bank lockers which are consumer friendly to some extent and have come into effect from 1st January 2022. RBI went through lots of customer grievances and feedback from banks too and finally came up with some new guidelines. Let's look at some of the most important points which really impact you. Number 1. Compensation of 100 times the locker rent. If there is any loss of locker content due to bank negligence or irresponsible behavior, then bank locker holders will get 100 times of locker rent as compensation. So, if the yearly rent of the locker is rupees 4,000, then the compensation will be rupees 4 lakhs. It is the responsibility of banks to take all steps for the safety and security of the premises in which the safe deposit vaults are housed. It has a responsibility to ensure that incidents like fire, theft, burglary, robbery, dacoity, building collapse do not occur in the bank's premises due to its own shortcomings, negligence, and by any act of omission or commission. Number 2, SMS and email alerts at the time of locker access. Now RBI guidelines will make sure that you will get email and SMS notification on the same day when the locker is accessed. This will help if there is any kind of fraud or unauthorized access. The banks are asked to send an email and SMS alert to the registered email ID and mobile number of the customer before the end of the day as a positive confirmation intimating the date and time of the locker operation and the redressal mechanism available in case of unauthorized locker access. Number 3, last 180 days of CCTV footage are required for locker operation. Banks will have to install CCTV to monitor the common areas and doors from where entry and exits happen inside the locker room. This CCTV footage has to be stored for the last 180 days. The area housing the lockers should remain adequately guarded at all times. The bank should install access control system if required as per their risk assessment, which would restrict any unauthorized entry and create digital records of access to locker room with time log. Number 4, banks are allowed to charge 3 years of rent as term deposits. Banks are allowed to charge up to 3 years of rent plus charges of breaking the locker from customers. So they may ask you to create an FD. But this has to be of a small amount, not to any exorbitant fees like what happens in reality. This advance rent is also just to make sure that banks are protected for a situation where the locker holder does not pay rent on time or is unreachable for some years. For example, if locker rent is rupees 4,000, then for the FD they could ask for rupees 12,000 plus some more charges like rupees 500 or 1000. So in total, it shall surely not cross 4 times the rent in any situation. If the bank officials ask you to create an FD for 2 to 3 lakhs or forces you to buy any kind of insurance policy, make sure to file a complaint with RBI and IRDA. Number 5, waitlist numbers and vacant locker list to be displayed. Right now, a customer cannot see how many lockers are empty and what is the waitlist number. But now that shall change. Now each locker application has to be duly acknowledged and a waitlist number has to be given to the customer. The waitlist number has to also get displayed in banks along with the number of vacant lockers. This is to ensure transparency. Right now, the things are very opaque and customers don't get enough information and clarity about their locker applications. Number 6, new agreement by January 1, 2023 for existing locker holders. A new locker agreement has to be signed with all existing locker holders with all these new guidelines and rules. So, if you already have a locker, do wait for the bank to reach out to you in 1 to 2 years to sign a new contract. Bank shall have a board-approved agreement for safe deposit lockers. Number 7, clear rule on 3 situations when lockers can be broken by bank. This part refers to the breaking open of the locker in a manner other than through the normal access by the customer using his or her original key or password under any of the following circumstances. Number 1, if the hirer loses the key and requests for breaking open the locker at his or her cost. Or number 2, if the government enforcement agencies have approached the bank with orders from the court or appropriate competent authority to seize lockers and requested for access to the lockers. Or number 3, if the bank is of the view that there is a need to take back the locker as the locker hirer is not cooperating or not complying with the terms and conditions of the agreement. Important point. Note that while this notification is issued by RBI, however, in real life, it will take time for these rules to get implemented. I hope this video was helpful. Please share your views about this notification and guidelines set by the RBI in the comment section below. And don't forget to like, share and subscribe to our YouTube channel.